Thought I'd take apart this Dewalt battery for one of my subs that does some work for us, and it's got a power, so it when it displays, it's got two lights on it, so it's got a charge. But I tried to do some deoxit right there, and I think there's just so much gunk in this over the years. You can see it's covered in crap, and he does a lot of drywall repair, so there's lots of potential dust in there. So I'm going to see if I can get to these contacts here, really clean these up. But the special tool that you'll need to use is actually for this iPhone repair kit. So they have these security screws. It's kind of hard to see, but you can see there's a little tiny dot in the center of that. And so you need a tool that actually has the dot in the center as well, so you can actually get those. But this is what I got, and it turns out. So I'm going to pull these out, pull this apart, be very careful not to touch too many leads. I'm sure there's probably a pretty decent shock hazard, but there's 4 over there, 4 of those on, so there's 8 total. So we got it all apart. Looks like we've got a little bit of corrosion on some of these things, but I'm just going to take my my meter and just see if we can get some voltage readings. I don't think this is really going to give me a super indication of what's working and what's not, but I can tell just by looking at it really quickly that is corroded as hell. So not too bad, but I think I can get some pins between them, get them cleaned up, and just test the lead, see if I can get some voltage off of that. But I'm definitely going to clean up both sides of this and then just give it a good once over. So I think after testing this, the center is obviously, we got the ground here. And when I'm putting this on, let's see if I can slide this in where it'll grab it, but hard to do this while I'm holding the phone. But essentially what I'm getting when I'm touching this lead over here, getting 14.4 volts, and over here we're getting 7.2, over here we're getting 14.42, and this is negative. So it's definitely working. The batteries are fine. So I think what actually is the problem is, if we look close enough, I think we are getting too much separation. So I don't think that the actual pin that's sliding in there, the actual piece of this guy right here. So when those are going in, I think they're just not making contact. So I think they just need to be squeezed together a little bit, and that will fix it because the battery is actually fine. So let's try to maybe tighten those things up a little bit with some tweezers, and hopefully that'll work. All right, so after cleaning it up, I'm using a plastic tool and just basically bending these tabs together. They were quite separated even on the outsides, and I think that's what it was. So I put this together. You got to be very careful. I was going to use needle nose, but I thought it's a metal contact. That's a ground point, and then that's a hot point. So if you touch those two leads together, you could short it out. So we definitely don't want to damage it while we're doing this. So we're using a piece of plastic. Excuse me. But I think this is going to be working. I tested it, obviously, and it worked, and it's got voltages, so there's no problem with that. But like I said, it just, where it's supposed to grip onto those right there, those sliders, I just think that they were maybe jammed too many times. So I'll put it back together and we'll test it out. Works perfect. So yeah, I think the main thing is that the tabs are split apart too far, and we just had to bend them close, so when you slide the catches on them. But it also was not bad to clean this thing up, because it was in needing of a cleaning. But that is worth taking those things apart. So you do need an iPhone repair kit with a kind of a Torx type bit with the security screw to be able to pull those screws out. Otherwise you will not be able to do that. But you can get one of these kits. I mean, this is old. I've had this for 10-something years. This is an iWork kit with these kind of connectors. You can take a look at that. So this is probably like a T8 or something like that, or a T6. I don't know exactly which one it is, but that's the kit that I have. So if you want to pick this up somewhere, probably on Amazon or eBay or whatever, or even your local computer store, I'm sure they have them. I think that's where I got this one. But always useful to keep those things around. But hope that helped. Rock on.